Today's episode of Overlooked History is about the surprising history of margarine. In the 1860s, since butter was expensive, France was looking for a substitute made of beef tallow to feed the French army and the poor. To solve the problem, Emperor Napoleon III challenged all of France to create a new butter. Chemist Hippolyte Margarine invented oleomargarine. Its name comes from the Latin word oleum, meaning olive oil, and the Greek word margaret, meaning pearl, referring to margarine's white color. Margarine shortened the name to margarine to make it his new food. It wasn't until the 1880s when margarine reached America. Americans found that margarine's white color made it look like lard, which many found unappealing. In an effort to better market their product, American margarine manufacturers began adding yellow dyes to make their product look more like butter. This horrified American dairy farmers, as they felt that if yellow margarine was allowed, people would choose it over butter. In an effort to save America's dairies, they began a slander campaign against the un-American margarine by declaring that yellow margarine could mislead consumers. Cartoonists began showing dishonest margarine producers placing cats and arsenic in their products, compared to the wholesome, all-American men who sold butter. The biggest blow to margarine manufacturers was the passing of the Margarine Act of 1886, which imposed heavy taxes and required licenses for anyone who produced margarine. Some states were not satisfied, and Maine, Michigan, Minnesota, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Ohio banned the sale of margarine. Notably, many of these states have large dairy industries. New Hampshire lawmakers decided not to ban margarine, but took creative steps to stop it. They passed a law stating that margarine could only be sold if it was dyed pink. Anyone caught breaking this law would be fined $100, or could spend 60 days in prison. New Hampshire lawmakers' main idea behind the law is that consumers would find pink margarine so revolting by butter. New Hampshire was eventually sued, and the case made its way to the U.S. Supreme Court. The court ruled that the state had the right to ban the sale of margarine, but not to regulate how it could be colored. Many states passed laws banning the addition of yellow dyes into margarine. To get around this problem, margarine began to be sold with yellow dye packets to be mixed by the consumer. During World War II, margarine became a popular butter substitute, and colored margarine lost its reputation as an un-American product designed to mislead the public. After the war, laws against colored margarine began to be repealed. The final state to repeal the anti-margarine laws was Wisconsin in 1967. Today, it is hard to believe that something as simple as colored margarine could cause such an uproar, but at one time it was believed it could upend entire industries and destroy the livelihoods of hard-working Americans. Thank you.